Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dane, adaptive rehab and exercise specialist. Today I'll be going over active hands. Active hands are absolutely an essential part of adaptive exercise and rehab. As anybody with impaired hand or wrist function, basically this allows our clients to be able to grab and grip onto different objects, but also maintain stability of their hand and wrist as well too if they're pressing. So these pieces of equipment right here, they're very pricey, but they are very essential as well too. So they have a right and a left. So I have the right and the left right there. There's not a huge difference between the two when you look at the orientation, aside from how the Velcro wraps around. So kind of two parts to these guys right here. So they have a wrist wrap right here. And this guy basically allows for accompanying different sizes of wrists, and they come in small, mediums, and larges. So this basically allows us to slide our hand directly through right here, and then we can pin our wrist down into position with the Velcro. So keep in mind, I'm doing this with one hand. As a trainer, you'd be doing this with both hands. But right here, you can see my hand fully wrapped into the wrist wrap right here. So it basically holds, if we were to be pulling anything, it basically holds the position in place, but also pressing, it holds the wrist into a good position that's safe for the client as well. So kind of the biggest difference that I've seen with adaptive exercise as opposed to kind of able-bodied exercise is how we grab onto things essentially. So you can see right here, if I were an able-bodied individual and I wanted to do a lat pull down, a single arm pull down, I just reach up, grab onto it, and pull right on down, right? But when you can't use your hand, that causes quite an issue. So when we're doing adaptive exercise, we bring the handles to our clients. So with that, we detach our handles here. And the best way I've seen people do it, and I've done it myself here, is when you have impaired hand function, you just function over the top of their hand essentially and use your hand as their hand. So from here, I'm just gonna act as just a normal able-bodied individual here. But you'll see right off the bat here, you want this portion right here, this loop, and the D-loop, just throw it on the back side of the wrist. Having that on the back side of the wrist just gets that out of the way and makes sure that you can actually get things in the right position without having too many things in the way. So from here, the second portion of this active hand right here is this flap right here. And this flap portion here, the big one, covers the forefingers. So if you can see right here, my forefingers are being covered over the top. And then in here, there's a padding as well too. So that allows, so if we were to really wrench down this pad and this active hand into the handle, they're not gonna hurt themselves and they're not gonna have any skin issues, because that is a definite issue that comes up in adaptive gyms. So from here, the Velcro basically shoots right through this little loop slot right there. So you can see, slide this guy right in through here, pull the slap, and then basically just make sure that their fingers are in the right spot, pull this guy right over the top, and then the Velcro is pulled into position right here. So, like I was saying, like we have to bring our handles and the weight to the clients. So you can see right here, I will go ahead, do my best to attach right here. So right there, and then from here, you can go ahead, pull, press, do whatever's necessary with this position without even having to grab and grip with your hand at all. So like I had mentioned, it does also provide wrist stability too. So some clients with high-level cervical injuries have no, flexion extension of their wrists at all too. So if they're pressing anything, their wrist can kind of kick off to the side or hyperextend or hyperflex. So these really desperately help us hold their position in place, but also just provide us to have good, successful adaptive exercise. And like I had mentioned too, it is very expensive. So each hand here is about $85, but they do last quite some time. Benefit about coming into Ability is active hands are freely floating around the gym. I think we have about 12 or 13 pair right now. So it's quite a bit. But active hands are used every day in a multitude of different ways as well too.